Welcome everyone, and today during this stretch weight we're going to focus on inner thighs, hamstrings, shoulders, and with the shoulders and upper back we're going to use the chair. So if you like to get that while you're setting up, I'm just going to advise that you or your friends joining this session to consult a physician before starting any exercise program, especially if you have any known medical conditions and or if you're pregnant. If you experience any dizziness at all during this session or feel faint, please stop immediately. We're not able to assume liability for any accidents or injuries. So please work within your range of motion, know your limitations, your abilities, and any injuries, pay attention to your body. Okay, so we're going to start now. So they're going to ask you to stand on a mat because we may or may not come down to the floor, but certainly it's there for your protection. Then standing nice and tall, feet hip distance apart, roll the shoulders back. Nice big circle up, back, and down. Take a deep breath in, lift those arms all the way up. Exhale all the way down. Do that again. Lift all the way up, inhaling. Exhale all the way down. Deep breaths, nice and slow, relaxing. Up, and just fold. So you're bending forward. Now bend the knees, slowly roll up. Tucking your hips underneath you, stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae, relaxing till you're fully vertical and you roll the shoulders down. Step wide, bend your knees, so soften up your knees, take a deep breath in. Exhale and bend forward, reach. Bend your knees, roll it up. So feel the vertebrae working independently, roll the shoulders down, deep breath in. Exhale, bend forward. And hold it here. In this position with your feet facing forward, bend the knees, lowering your hips, lifting your head above your heart, and then straighten those legs, staying in that forward bend. Once again, bend your knees. As you exhale, straighten those legs. And one more time is bend your knees. Exhale, straighten the legs, lifting the bottom edge of your pelvis bone, your sits bones up to the ceiling. From here, take your right hand, place it onto the left ankle or left foot, and bring your chest to your thigh, and just hold here. Still stayed in that bent forward position. The other hand is on my leg, or if you can, lift it up to the ceiling. Okay, release your hands, take your hands back to the center, bend your knees, and then straighten up again. Bend your knees, straighten up. Take your left hand over to the right foot or right ankle, right lower leg, and bring your chest to your thigh. Lift the other arm up if you can, otherwise place it on your hips. Breathing deeply here, still trying to keep a straight leg as possible. And release the hand down. Release and come into the center. In this position, I want you to bend your knees and place your elbows against your knees to really get a good wide spread and stretch into the groin area, into those inner thighs. Holding it here. Really straighten the legs, stay in the bent position. Now, if you're staying bent over and it's too much for you, bend your knees and roll up slowly. Okay, we're going to continue on. I'm going to ask you to walk over to take your right hand over to your left foot again. This time, bend your knees. Hold here, keeping your hips as low as possible, and really pulling into that left leg. Still keeping those knees bent without shifting your hips over. Just here holding on. You're also stretching a little bit into the rear deltoid as well. Your other hand is just holding onto the knees. Take one more deep breath, and as you exhale, straighten those legs up. Bring your hands into the center. Take your elbows as you bend and lower your hips and open up into the groin again. Placing your elbows onto your inner knee area. Then from here on the exhale, straighten the legs and take your left hand, walk it over to the right foot, placing that left hand onto the ankle or the foot itself. Then lower your hips into a low squat, keeping your hips into the center and really pulling your body into the side of that and top side of that leg, the right leg. Breathing here. On the exhale, stretch those legs up, walk those hands into the center. Bend your knees slowly, pull your tummy in as you exhale and slowly uncurl all the way up. The rounded back, tucking your hips underneath you. Roll the shoulders back. Take a deep breath in, lift those arms up. Exhale, place them behind your back. Roll the shoulders, lift the chest up. Do a little slight back bend here. Offset the forward bend. And then round through. You still have wide feet. Pull your hips forward and pull the shoulder blades apart. We're not done stretching the inner thighs. From here, take a deep breath in, lift those arms up. Relax the arms down. One arm down, head tilt over. Turn the thumb back. I'm going to hold on to my arm with the back. Take a deep breath in, lift those arms up. Release down again. Left arm down, head tilt over to the opposite side. Release your head vertical. From here, bend your knees. Take a deep breath in, lift those arms up, forward bend. Place your hands onto the floor, and I want you to shift over to one side, facing forward. Right here. My hands are on the floor. If you cannot, place your elbow on your thigh. And if you prefer, you have a desk or a counter nearby, hold on to it, okay? Especially if you have any hypertension, any heart conditions, you want to keep the head above the heart. So hold here. If you have your hands on the ground, your hips have to be lower than your heart. And then take it into the center. Give me one knee bend, one straighten up leg, and then shift over to the other side. Make sure that that bending knee, the bending leg, is right aligned to your second toe. Feet are forward here. Getting that stretch into that inner thigh. Release, take your torso into the center, stay forward. Bend your knees. Straighten those legs up. Bend them slightly, pivot, turn. So I'm turning towards my left wall. And I'm in that front lunge position, pushing back through the back heel. Again, if you can't reach and you have some apparatus or items around the house to hold on to, place them on the floor, straddling your foot, or you can place your hands on your thigh, holding here. From here, we're going to bring in the back leg slightly and assume an upside down V position. And we're going to bring the torso close to your front leg. If you feel confident in your balance, lift the front toes up so they're coming towards you. Breathing deeply into the stretch. Release the foot down, bend the knees slightly, and I'm going to ask you to pivot turn. Stay here, place your hands onto the floor, bend the knees, and push your elbows against the knees to really open up into the groin again. On the exhale, release, straightening the legs a bit, bend them slightly to maneuver the turn into a front lunge on the opposite side. Really pressing the back heel back. Keep the front knee right over the ankle. As you exhale, bring in the back leg slightly and take your buttocks up and assume that upside down V. And again, if you have props, anything, books, blocks, and you can't quite reach the floor, hold on to something that is on the floor, which you straddle, that straddles your foot, your leg. Release, bend the knee. Now pivot, turn forward. Here we go again. Place your hands onto the floor or your support. Bend, lower your buttocks, and press your elbows against those inner thighs. Against the knees, and really open them up. As you exhale, now contract your abdominals. Stay forward bend and lift the hips all the way up. Bend your knees. Shimmy in the feet slightly, then slowly roll up. Roll the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Forward bend as you bring those feet hip joint distance apart. Forward bend here. Hold here. Soften up the knees. Now I'd like you to pull up from the lower back. So you've got slight bend in the knee. Tuck your hips underneath you. Let the arms hang. And do little circle motions to one way. Keeping the lower back pulling up towards the ceiling as if there's a string attached to the lower spine vertebrae, the lumbar 1 to 5, up to the ceiling as you exhale, pulling your belly button in. Stop the rotation other way. Letting those arms just hang, relax your neck. Stop the rotation, now swing it side to side. Little pendulum swing here, and slow down the swinging. Relax your arms and roll it up. Roll the shoulders. From there, let's grab our chairs now. Bring the chair out in front of you. Okay, and you know that wide spread forward bend, we're going to do it with the chair. So we're going to spread the feet out quite wide. We're going to hinge at the hip joint and reach out for the chair. Now, if you have a desk, it'd be great because you can actually spread your hands, the hand position of wider, which is fantastic to really work into the upper back latissimus. All the way down to the sides, the serratus here. Keep those feet spread out. Lift up into your hips, the base of the hips up. Breathing deeply. Once again, if you need to come out of this for any reason at all, please do so. Now, in this position, move your right hand so it is pretty well centered and straight in front of your head. Then you're going to take your left and move it over the right. Okay, and then you're going to rotate into that direction. So I'm looking underneath my armpit. Please don't slip. All right, release the hands. Take your right over left and rotate to the other side. Don't shift your hips. Keep them dead center. Now, uncross. Just stretch here wide. I'm going to ask you to bend the knees. Release your hands. Push yourself back a bit. Round and tuck your hips underneath. Roll up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Roll the shoulders back. Step together. Take your chair. Okay, and have a seat on it. From here, sitting nice and tall, you're going to take one leg up. You're going to hook your arm underneath. You're going to keep sitting forward so your shoulders are right over your hips. And you're going to draw and pull that leg over and across. Just hold there. Now, up until now, you always did a forward movement, a forward bend with the legs apart. So now we're actually shortening the muscles that we extended earlier or stretched earlier. So you might feel a little bit off. Just keep holding and breathing there. Nice and tall, pulling your abdominals with every exhale. Now I have my foot flexed. Okay, release it. Take that leg down. From here, we're going to lift the other leg up, hook it underneath, still sitting nice and tall. I'm halfway forward off my chair, and then I'm going to cross the leg over. I'm not shifting my hips to accommodate bringing the leg over. It stays still. Breathing deeply. And release it. Take it down. From here, I'm going to ask you to now spread the legs out. Take a deep breath in and contract your abdominals so you're rounding your spine, bringing the hands halfway, round out. Inhale, breath here. Exhale, come down. And then slowly feel the pull from the lower back out and up. Hold here. Give me a little bit of those arm circles again. Circling around. Slow it down to a stop. Other side. Take it to a stop. From there, I'm going to ask you to reach with your right hand to the left foot. Pull down just a little bit. Now, when you're pulling down, I want you to pull your lower back up. So you're doing this with a rounded back now. And release. Take it into the center. Hold there. Take your left hand over to the right foot, right ankle, and roll up. So pull your belly up to your spine. And pull yourself over to that side. You must pull your tummy up to your spine, really rounding out. And release. From there, you're into the center. Shimmy in the feet. Roll it up. So really starting with the lower back to round out. And then up. Roll the shoulders back. Take one arm down, head tilt, turn the thumb back. Other side down, thumb back. Relax here. Turn your chin over to one side. Over to the other side. Take it to the center. Lower your chin down. Roll your head half to one shoulder. Down front. And then over half to the other shoulder. Not back. Down front. Lift the chin parallel to the ground. Lift those arms up. And hands come down to your heart center. And that is your stretch. I hope you enjoy that. Join me again or attend any of the other recorded classes. Thank you, everybody. Take care.